Hey guys, welcome back to another Play One Painter episode, and since it's September, I thought, we should do a Fable painting. I don't know how you guys celebrated your Septembers or whatnot. I just remember I got Fable for the Xbox One way back in the day, and I played that game for multiple hours. And you know what? With the subject of Fable brought up, I gotta come clean with ya. I didn't always have all these good points, judging by my blonde hair color. It took a while, it took a lot of effort to get to this level of goodness. Believe it or not, it actually had a dark past. Yeah, those were different times. I was an evil maniac. I just would shout loud and shoot lightning bolts everywhere. Scare the townsfolk. I was out of control. It was a mess. I would just throw things, just getting evil points here and there. I would even start stealing stuff when no one was looking. Well, I guess they saw me. I wasn't discreet at all. But then one day, I really just had to look at my life as a whole. Was being evil the only thing I was gonna do for the rest of my life? Maybe I should change my ways. Maybe I'd do good actions and really make the world a better place. So with this newfound inspiration, I try to do good actions wherever I could to really rack up those good points, See, you gotta get the good points to get the good benefits, like blonde hair and halos and butterflies. Actions like cleaning the house a bit, holding the door for the person behind me, and even helping them with the less fortunate at the soup kitchen. A few good years later, with all these good points, I became the person you see here today, and I wouldn't change it for the bit. And it's a good day to do a Fable painting, so let's do a divine scene of Oakville. Oh, we better get started! Alright, let's get painting. As you can already see, there's a pretty hefty palette this time for this painting, just because there's so many little small elements in Fable. But I'll try my best to go over it slowly and specifically as possible. But as always, we're going to start by putting on that liquid white or gel medium all over the canvas, white on white. Alright, now with that same brush, go into your Fable blue. Remember, this is the big, strong, crazy blue. A little bit of this. And get a little bit of white. We'll go over here and start putting this all over the sky. Do some X strokes. Alright, I think we're rocking a nice little Oakvale sky action, but let's add some cumulus clouds to really brighten up the day. Go ahead and grab your fan brush and pop just the one edge of it into the white. We'll go up here and just kind of wiggle it and jiggle it, add some of those clouds. Simple as that. And just make sure whenever you're applying the clouds to really touch on the top peaks here. So if the light's coming this way, these are going to be more brighter than, the bottoms of the clouds. So just kind of think about that when you pop these in here. Here's another little fun technique to make clouds. So yeah, you got your standard, cumulus clouds, but with this fan brush, if you just peek it up here with some white, drag it across the sky and you get those like long stringy clouds too. Kind of just switches up the flavor of the sky too, kind of adds some interest. So don't be afraid to experiment too. Now since y'all know in Oakville there's like a C in the back, we can represent that with our fan brush. And since we already have paint on the fan brush, just go ahead and go right into your Fable blue again. Now make sure you go heavy with this because we want the C darker than the sky here. And we'll put it right here. Right across there. Now try to be as straight as you can. And you could get like a ruler or some tape, but I'm lazy. This really isn't the focus. This is just to add to it since we know there is a C behind the town of Oakvale. That's all it is to it. Gonna build some sand here, so go into your cadmium yellow pale hue, white, maybe a little bit of your burnt umber brown. Kind of mix all these together. Kind of go along here for the shore. Get the shore line. Alright, now for this next part, we're really going to fill in the whole town of Oakville with very simple blocks of colors and underpainting, whatever you want to call it, just to really give us an idea of what we're up against. Let's start by adding in the grass. Now I would go into your olive green, cadmium yellow pale hue, then nice little green action here. And really just fill in most of this area here. Now as it gets closer, it's a little bit more contrast, so you can make it a little bit darker. We'll be going over this grass with more detailed brush strokes and grass blades, but just fill it in for now. Alright, for the next step, get a clean 1/2 inch brush, and we'll be making a mixture of the base color of the buildings. Again, then we'll hit it with highlights and shadows, but we need to start somewhere. If you play the game, you can get some ideas of how the houses are shaped and whatnot, but really just get a structure in here. I think this is like the tavern back here or something. And we are just filling in the base shape of it. And since this is our first building, I'll go over the entire process, and then you just basically are going to repeat on each other buildings. Now the buildings that are closer to you are going to have more contrast, you know, lights and darks. But this one, you'll see what we're up against. Now we need to build some shadows. So I would go into your Fable blue again, and make sure you put it over here so you can get kind of a differentiation. Hit it with some alizarin crimson. Definitely that burnt umber brown. This is actually a good shadow color. You can compare the two. And the sun, I guess we're coming this way. So I'm going to really hit all the sides that would receive a shadow with this color. You can see already, boom, there's a shadow. There's some stonework down here for sure. Shadow elements on the grass. This really just brings it to life. The roofs are like hay, so they're going to have a yellow spectrum, and then there's stonework below. So I'm going to go to the top here, and we'll give them a nice little hay-filled roof. Get some yellow, get some white, some brown, burnt umber again. Actually, a lot more white here. Used up here. Alright, that's all to do it. So I'm just going to map out the rest of the town here. So this is where your drawing skills can come in. This we're just drawing with our brushes. Alright, we're going to switch up the old brush. We're going to go into some yellow, some burnt umber, something like that. Get some of that white. This is going to be the base layer for the hay roofs. It's alright if it gets a little muddy. We just want to block it in here. Alright, well there's one building under painting. We have a few more to do here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and put that oak tree. I guess it is called Oakville. Might need an oak tree, unless they're liars. Now for the oak tree, go ahead and go into your burnt umber. A little bit of burnt sienna too. Has some red action there. Maybe a little bit of alizarin crimson too. We'll go up here to the canvas. Now, where is he gonna live? Kind of towards the middle of the town, so maybe we'll put it right here. It's growing. And you might pick up some of the color underneath it. That's okay. We'll have to go back over top of this with more color. And we'll get some base layer for some leaves. So go into your olive green. And again, this doesn't have to be precise color. Maybe some blue too. Tap some leaves in here. From what I know, oaks are really big, so don't be afraid of going out of the canvas. There goes our clouds. Oh well. Just hanging out there anyways. What you done for us, clouds? Alright, once we got that tree in there, let's go ahead and add the rest of the buildings. Probably add some buildings over here and maybe some detail work of like, I know there's like stone fences and whatnot, so we can get into that. Go back in that same building color you used for this one, and we'll sketch it out again here. Alright, and I know whenever you enter the town, you kind of pass by these rocks going up here, and I think there's like a little overpass here. I don't know if I want to add all that, because we can have a nice little scene with the tree, but I might add a little pillow up here, just and maybe make it some shadow here. That being said, let's go ahead and fill this rock area in. For rocks, I would just say get the black again. Black and white is a nice little gray. But let's add some burnt umber to it. Switch up the flavor a bit and kind of have these go up here. Just fill in these sides. Green grass, paint. Hey, welcome back! It's been several days since I last painted this, but don't worry, it was the same basic spot we were. We just laid it in town, but now I want to show you the fine details in those fun Fable buildings, but I gotta bring you in closer. Let's go! Well, hello there. As you can see, I brought you in closer to do some nice detail work. We're gonna use this brush. See? It's a brush, right? I'm gonna point the things on the canvas and pretend I know what I'm talking about. But hey, to get started, we're gonna paint another tree here. So as we did before, use your burnt umber brown and make a trunk, and then with the same technique, just dab those leaves on there, like you know what you're doing. Alright, so far so good. Another brush, we're going to make a little shading effect here. Now that's pretty easy. You just get some blue and some green on your brush, and no, I actually changed the direction of the sun, so sorry. You could do that as an artist. You could change the sun rays. It's awesome. Now, as you can see, I'm putting some of those cobblestones all over the town, so that's just a mixture of gray and brown, and you really can direct the viewer's eyes depending on where you put these. It's a very fun way to not only make the town look cool, but direct the people around your painting. Alright, now we're going to brighten up the side of the stone fence here. Now, what I usually do is do a darker base layer and then have a lighter mixture and just kind of really pick and choose where the stones are going to be brightened up by the sun rays. So as you can see, I'm trying to leave some areas here and there dark so they can really form those stone shapes. Used to do a lot of stone work for the school plays, so I definitely painted a lot of bricks in my days. But practice makes perfect. Alright, to get another brush, we're going to do some detail work around these stone houses. I see I'm trying to emphasize the wooden frames around the stone buildings. So there's that, and now we're going to actually have to touch it with more bricks. So like I said, as long as you can really shape out the individual brick shapes, it looks kind of realistic. And they don't all have to be the same. You can make big ones, small ones, and get them in there. Alright, get a fresh brush, and we can put some odds and ends around these buildings. As you see, I'm painting with burnt umber. Some boxes and some barrels and whatnot, just to really brighten up the town life here. There's a fence, and if you play the game Fable, you know that there's a bunch of little small details here and there. This is just a lantern to lead you into the town. So we'll paint him, and we'll give him a friend. We don't have a lone lantern. That'd be a cool name for a band, I think. I'm just touching up some highlights on the rocks and whatnot. Some more things over here. Every building needs stones, right? But yeah, after a while, this comes second nature, so just do your best to do what you can with the detailing. Alright, we're back up here again. I know we're all over the place for this painting, but yeah, it's alright. You know, you forget about it and come back to it, and that's life, man. that's all it is. This is life. Last thing I do in this painting is just give it a sign. So we'll go into our light green here. Put a little signature in the bottom. I would just use the first and last initial and just put the year that you painted it. Well, I think with that, we'll call this one done. I hope you had a fun time painting this Fable Oakville action. That was pretty cool. And this one was very involved, so you don't always have to be super detailed, but sometimes it's fun to take your time and maybe not do it very fast and yeah, spend time just doing all these fun little details. Thanks again for watching the Player One Painter. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And I'll see you next month during October, the spooky month. Cheers!